So
Oh, I guess it means it's
that's
recording.
it. That's it. So this is our first go round. So hey everyone, I'm Michelle Pippin, and you're watching episode 1 of Women of the Watchtower. And this podcast is really just us talking about things that are affecting not women entrepreneurs. Things that are
Impact any
still
any
women.
woman of
There's
any
still
walk of
women.
life.
But we're going to talk about things that affect women, and we're not going to tell anybody how to think or what to think, just encourage you to think, right? And we're going to share different
100%.
viewpoints. And today we're talking about just women friendships and how we can be better as women to our friends.
And I'm really excited about this because I was just having a conversation the other day with someone about your love language for friends. You know, it's not just
Yeah.
about your love language with your partner, but you have that with friendships as well. And everyone needs something different, myself included, and different, not just for myself, but from what I need from each individual friend, you know,
Yes.
or vice versa. So it's exciting to.
Yeah, we've had that conversation about because you've got so many friends. I feel like she's the friend girl.
Totally.
Right? Like she's the
Yes.
one.
I'm a
She's
friend
the one who has so
collector.
many-
Yes.
Yes,
But you're
they-
good to them all. And it's real,
Yes,
it's good
they
friendships.
are, and it's
not
good.
yeah.
It is good friendship.
and they all have their place, you know, and what you do with each of the friends might be different, what you talk about, right?
Yes,
Like, so I
very
feel like
true.
you've been so good at that.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I was just going to say, it's funny because I was actually having a conversation about something very similar. I had the awesome introduction to my youngest boy, Luke.
oh, that's
Yes.
right.
The girlfriend, and
Yes.
she brought me a gift. She brought me flowers and she brought me chocolates. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that led into us having the conversation of her just saying, like, I'm a gift giver. Like, that's how I love
Yes.
people. And,
Yes.
and it was so cool to have that conversation. And then later she was telling me about something she was doing. Her father had hurt his knee, and she was very, like, he had to tell her, like, please go to bed. Stop.
She wanted to be a
like,
caretaker.
She wanted to take care of
Nurture,
him. And
yeah.
so I said, that's your love language. Like,
Yes.
you're that person. So do you enjoy also receiving gifts? Because
Right.
sometimes you're the
Yes.
giver of something and you don't want to have that same love back. Like,
Yes.
it's no, don't do that. And she was like, oh yeah, I like gifts.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's
Okay,
funny
that's
because
good.
the person that brought up where I was talking about the love language was Jennifer.
Yes.
Who, I randomly am saying that I like someone's tennis shoes. And the next thing I know, she sends me a text and says, hey, surprise, your early birthday present will be there. My birthday is 2.5 months away. And I'm like, oh my God, who does that? Like, she's just very much a gift giver. She does not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not that she doesn't like them back. She doesn't expect them back
Yes.
or care one way or the other.
And sometimes stuff like that makes people uncomfortable. It's like,
Yes.
literally, I am the giver of
Yeah.
the things, and I love the joy it brings to you, but don't do that to me. That
No.
actually makes me uncomfortable, and I don't know how to thank you
Yes.
enough, or
Well, and
whatever.
what's interesting too about that is that because she does all of those things for so many of us, I am always thinking, like, what could I do for
Yes.
her? What can I give back to her? She doesn't make her loves, like her favorite things, really known. So you're not able to even surprise her,
Yeah.
and she'll also just go out and get whatever she wants for herself. But it's kind of hard to,
That's someone without kids to spend on,
right?
Oh,
right? They
yes.
can just get whatever they
Whatever. And yes. And so I was trying to think of little things, and I do know some little things that she likes, but she's just not someone that she doesn't talk about herself a lot, which is how you usually find out what people like if they're,
Yes. So I have a question. So what would y'all say y'all's love language is?
that's interesting. I would love to have a deep dive on this because I
gosh.
don't know what mine is.
Okay.
I don't have a clue.
So I don't even know if this is a normal, because of
Yeah.
course I'm not normal. So why would I have anything normal? I enjoy communicating with people deeply, like connecting, having
Yes.
conversation.
Yes.
That's my
Deep.
love language.
Mhm.
Like, that's it. Like, I don't need to have the gifts given. I will love, someone
Yes.
thought of me enough to give me something. I'm
Right.
appreciative, and that's beautiful and wonderful. But I'm really more of a, do you want to know me?
Yes.
I want to know you. And if you want to
Definitely.
know me, that's the biggest gift you can give. I want to be known. and
I think that's
understood.
something that
And
the three of us definitely have in
100%.
common
Yeah.
and always have.
And I think also for women in general, right? I feel like we want to be seen, right? We
Right.
want all of us to be seen, all the different like facets and weirdness and
yes.
all
Yes.
of that to be seen. I think that is women in general, but specifically more so.
Well, and
Yeah,
I think
for
to
us.
give a little background on us
Yeah.
and talking about friendships
That's
and why
right.
we know that, about each other, we have been friends. We are 46,
Yep.
all 46 right now.
I am.
No,
No, you're 47. Lauren is 47. She's the old maid.
this is not my love language. Okay.
No, it's the opposite. You want to be known. She wants to be known.
No, at all. Let me just, we can take it
And-
all off.
Michelle and I are 46, but so we have all known each other literally since, Lori and I think we were like 5 or something.
Yeah.
And our mothers were our best friends. And then Michelle moved in down the street from
That's
me at 8 years old. And so we have all literally known each other our whole
Yes.
lives. And really, we had to grow and learn each other because you're 8 and 5 and,
Yes.
there's so many things change about, but actually not a lot has changed about us.
I was going to say a lot. It's funny how things don't change.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Like for
Who we are at
me,
our core.
Yes.
has not
So for
changed.
me, like my love language is physical touch, right?
Yes.
And which can get awkward with girlfriends,
Ye-
right?
yes.
Sleepovers, I'm
Right.
on you.
And my dad, when you're trying to console him in his grief.
I'm coming in. But also quality time, right?
Yeah.
Like the depth
Yes.
there, right?
Yes.
But it's funny the things that don't change because I think like loyalty is huge.
Oh,
right.
yes.
For girl friendships.
Well,
And
yes.
I'm wondering why y'all think that girl friendships are hard. So I know y'all only have boys
Right.
and I have 1 boy and 2 girls.
Yes.
So I've had to navigate not only like my own girl friendships like through lifetime,
Mhm.
but then my girls friendships. Right. And so I'm wondering like why it's so hard. Cause I know that a lot of women, they have acquaintances, but they don't have
Mm-hmm.
friends that they can call and say, or just like, reveal
Yes.
themselves to.
So I don't think girl friendships are hard, actually. I think that they can sometimes, I think that they can be tricky in times. For instance,
Okay.
I have friends that they love, or not love, but their requirement, I would say, is they like the interaction of, in other words, check on me all the time, check on me when things are going. And I want to do that but when I forget, I feel so guilty because I know that is so important to them
Yes.
that I want to do that for them,
Mhm.
and it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't mean that to say, oh, that's their love language and
Mhm.
that's important to them. And I want to do that for them because they do plenty for me. So I want to give that back. But yet, other than those things, trying to make sure you meet everybody's needs in the way that they need them met, I think girl friendships are actually very easy. Maybe in the beginning, not so much. Maybe all of mine have been my friends for so
Yeah.
long that's why I can say that now. But maybe in the beginning they were hard to get there. I don't know.
What do you think?
It's odd because I have a lot of people I would call my friends. Like I do have a lot of different kinds of
Yes.
women at different stages of their lives that I would say are great people and that we are friends. But I do consistently hear from other women how rare it is to have a really good
Yeah.
friendship. And I'm like, I've got more than one, I mean,
Right.
so I don't
Seriously.
And
know.
longtime friendships, that
Yes,
are
yes.
And that's what I'm wondering, like, what is the challenge? Because
Yeah.
I feel like where I'm a little different because my circle is very small
Yes.
and my social needs are minuscule. But
Yes.
that's different than my
but
friendship.
that's
needs.
also,
Yes.
you have a very large,
family.
expanded family of women.
Yes.
So we always say you had built-in best friends.
Yes.
And cousins and aunts and
Yeah.
whatever. But so that's also where, you're not someone, you didn't need to go out and explore other friendships, so to speak. I fell in your lap, you fell
Right.
in mine.
That's right.
And we lived in the country where no one was around. So,
Right.
really, by the grace of God, we liked each other.
That's right. That's right. We would have pretended anyway, right?
Yes.
Beggars can't be choosers, right? But
You're proof that if you stick it out long enough.
But I think too, like when women who are watching and they're thinking, you know what, like women friendships, they are hard for me. Or, most people would say like, I've been betrayed or
Yeah.
I've been forgotten or whatever. And I
Yes.
think that makes it hard. Like I had kids younger than all my friends.
Yes,
Right.
you
So
did,
that
yes.
took me out of the social
Mhm.
scene. And
For a long
a long
time.
time, yeah. And
Yeah.
and so didn't have to. Those I shouldn't have been out as like I was. But
Yeah.
I just felt so overwhelmed. But I feel like, and now women are having kids at different ages, right?
Yes.
So I was like walking my granddaughter in the neighborhood behind my house, and I ran into this woman who was so excited to see an older mom, right?
Oh,
And I was
really?
so embarrassed
Yes.
because she was so excited, and I had
And
to
you're
say,
like, she's my grandchild.
and so then she got embarrassed. Right?
Yes.
But I feel like on the one
Oh, I would have been
hand,
so thankful. Like,
Yeah.
you think I'm
100,000%.
older, but not too old to have had a
Yeah.
baby. We're
right,
good.
right. Yeah, I still
I'm not
cried it.
offended.
But I was embarrassed because she was like so excited to think that there was a woman her
Yes.
age, or roughly, I don't know how she was, that she could want. So I feel like there's like our ages and then our kids' ages
Yes.
that kind of make the cohort
Mhm.
of women as adults.
Right.
And
Knowing how you and your family are, and that you have two daughters close in age that are best friends,
Yes.
what do you see with them and their friendships with girls? Do you see them
Oh.
seeking out from school? Do they keep those friendships? Are they, that?
Yeah. So we're planning a wedding right now, right? My
Right.
middle daughter's getting married, and she, so her friends that have long been her friends are obviously invited and come to the wedding.
And do you
what-
think with her softball helped that? Some of those friendships?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so, because you travel together and,
Mhm.
Oh, gosh,
you're doing
yes.
Become
everything
part of your
together.
pack.
Right.
100%. What gets difficult for them, and I feel like if we look back, right, like what gets difficult for them is like when one of them gets a serious boyfriend and others don't, right?
Right.
And then it's like you're choosing, and then they're wrong, and girls will unite against another girl.
Oh, for sure,
right?
yes.
And so, and I feel like, so if we expand that into adulthood, right,
Mhm.
somebody's married, somebody's wanting to be married,
Mhm.
somebody has kids, somebody wants to have kids,
Yes.
right? And so it's hard to, I think, I don't know. I don't know if it's hard. It doesn't feel hard to me because I'm a natural connector,
Right.
but I feel like it's easy to feel maybe rejected or not pursued, like you were saying, like
Yes.
for women as we go through different
Yes.
ages and stages at different
Right.
times. I don't know.
And when somebody, for talking again about the people who need that, they like to check in, and when they give that to other people
Yes.
when they're going through something, and then even if, for instance, me, I'm not someone that needs that, but I love and appreciate it. It's like I don't need it, but when I'm getting it, I'm very
Yes.
thankful. But I wouldn't have been hurt if nobody is doing that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But then when someone else is going through something, because
Yes.
I wasn't in need of it when I got it. I think to do it all the time as much as I should. And that leaves that person wanting and feeling like, gosh, I gave my all to you. I was there checking on you constantly. Now I need it. And you just feel awful. And it just gets where you're guilt, I guess, you feel
Yeah.
guilt and all that, where you're just like, I want to do for you what you've done for me, but I don't think about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Same thing for me is loyalty, which you brought
Yes.
up. I'm loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
And I will always be disappointed that other people's loyalties, that is something the three of us share
Yes.
that is very rare. Not people being loyal, but we are loyal,
Yes.
like that's very rare, that there is ride or die between the three of us
Right.
that isn't even there with my, people that I share everything with,
Yeah,
and
right.
where it's like, okay, they're not, and I get disappointed by that. And that's not fair to them
Yes.
because my expectations are different than theirs. So I am left wanting in that place where it's like, if I hate them, you should hate them. If I love
Yeah.
them, you should love them, and there shouldn't be questions asked.
Should I unfriend her? Yes.
Yes.
We'll talk about it later.
Don't even need an excuse why, just do it.
Right, that's
Yeah.
right. You can tell me whenever we get together again.
Yes.
So what do you feel like if you were like, if we were taking this stage, because we have an amazing friendship, and we're giving advice to other women about how to just be a better friend, like what would we advise? And I can start because I am, like I said, I'm not very social, and I used to kind of equate that into all my friendship needs, right? Like I'm not
Right.
very social, so I don't need a lot of friends. And what I could do to be a better friend is I'm okay loving from afar, right? I'm okay loving with text and calls
Yes.
and And so I could be a better friend by showing up more, like really showing up in person, saying yes to invitations, right?
Right.
Not canceling
Yeah.
when after I said yes,
Importantly for
Actually-
you,
actually showing up.
following through.
Yeah. So I think I could, that's something that really speaks to people. And I hadn't really realized that as
Now
much
that is
last
a
year.
good thing because that is, I can speak between the two of us where that
Yes.
has been where you were involved with your children and I'm meanwhile having cookouts and doing
Right.
whatever. And I would invite and you
Yes.
couldn't or wouldn't come. I never looked at it from either standpoint. I just,
Right.
you were missed, like
Yes.
I wanted you to be a part of those things. But at the same time, the flip side of that is, I think advice wise, give grace. Know that we're all in
Yes.
different places. Know that you're going to be disappointed in friendships.
Yes.
It's always, you're never equal. It's going to be give and take. It's never balanced, I should say, I guess.
Yes.
And that's okay.
That's huge. I feel like sometimes and that's one thing I've seen with, just growing up and being a
Yes.
woman, it's like, we will draw a hard line that doesn't need to be a hard
Mhm.
line, right? It can be a push
Yes.
pause. right?
Yes.
So
So I think that you kind of hit it anyway on why someone would find it so hard to
That's it.
continue relationships is because they'll take something like, I didn't show up for your barbecue, and it's like,
10 years in a
and
row.
I'm done inviting you. Like what,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
14 years in a row, and still
That's
I'm going to
right.
invite you and still look at where we are.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I could have gone 3 years and not seen your face, but now that I'm seeing your face, I love you just the same.
Yes.
100%.
A lot of women, I think, just kind of go, whatever.
Yeah. And
Right?
listen,
Like-
we get our, for lack of a better
Just
sounding
say it.
term, we get our ass on our shoulders,
That's right,
yeah.
and it's, I'm hurt, I'm
Yeah.
pissed. And we are strong in that way of, oh, you did this to me. Now I'm mad, whatever. And listen, I know Michelle and I have had these moments, even down to, don't set foot in my yard when we're, 12 years old.
Case, I'm coming just to
And I'm literally stepping one foot in your yard and taunting you. What are you gonna do? But you know what I mean?
So
You do get
weird.
it's
Yeah.
so ridiculous sometimes, but and that's where we're detrimental to ourselves with our, our reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in hindsight, I can think back and think if it was anybody but Michelle, I would have called you on all of
Yeah.
those things, but I don't know why I wasn't that way with you, that I didn't. I just always was like, I know she'd be here if she could,
Yeah, right.
and so I always just moved past that. But had I not, who knows where we could be,
That's right.
because that could have definitely been hurt.
I think some women don't know the difference between giving the grace to a person who deserves the grace and giving second, third, fourth, fifth chances to the red flag crazy
Yes.
chicks,
Yes.
Yes.
right? Like
And
it's like,
100%.
oh, but I'm supposed to be her friend, so I'll let whatever fill in the
Right.
blank, whatever, be okay.
And
when that
allowing
shit should
yourself
be
to be
okay.
disrespected. Some people
Right?
are
Yes.
just disrespecting.
Yeah,
And
and like you need to be
have
like,
know
okay, I'm
that
cutting
too.
that off.
Yes. And be
And
like, they're
also,
better
I
off
feel
not
like
here.
real friendships, sometimes you've got to call them on it. Like I remember
Sure.
when everything happened with my brother, and I was in a hiding phase, right?
Mhm.
And I mean, the only person I saw was you.
Right.
And I was in a hiding phase and I wanted to see you, but I felt like that was like the biggest hurdle you were like, facing the real world for me, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Yes.
so I canceled, but I didn't lie. I
Mhm.
said, my anxiety is up. I can't come.
Yes.
And between the twixt of you guys,
Yes.
really behind my
Yeah.
back, you're like, hey, that's fine, but I'm going to give her one more time.
Right.
And if she doesn't show up,
And
then
I
you
wouldn't
come-
have. I'd have
Right.
given you every time.
Yeah.
But I was so thankful that she said that because I
Yeah.
was like, I needed that person to be strong when I couldn't, to say, after this.
We're going over,
Yes.
Right.
But that's a whole different territory too, because there was grieving and there was so many different things involved. It was like, we're not going to let you
pull back. that
go
far.
too far.
Right.
Right. Like,
Yes. And I
because we
would've.
love you, but not
Yes.
because
Right.
no, hell no, you need to be around the people,
Right, right,
Yes.
right.
that was a
And I
different
would've.
kind of thing.
So it was good that I'm like, yes, when that time comes,
Yes.
you tell me we're ready.
So I think just wrap it up. So how you could be a better friend, like show up for people, like literally physically in person. I think that's
Yes.
really huge. Giving grace to people who don't show up, can't show up, or a different phase of their life or whatever, and calling out, having the tough conversations.
And
I
a
think.
quick thing I think that is a very simple way to figure someone out is pay attention to what they give to you that you're not asking for. that's what they need. They're doing that for a
Yes.
reason.
Such a good, that's
That's
wise.
You know, they're
Yeah.
just, and that you could figure them out very quickly that way.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I love that. All right.
Great.
All right. Well, that wraps up our first episode of Women of the Watchtower. And the podcast really is about us kind of seeing what's coming in towards women, right?
Yes.
Seeing what's coming in, giving you our take and letting you guys take it from there. So we'll see you guys on another episode.
Bye. Bye.
All right.
I figured I was sitting behind the microphone the whole time, so I look like a microphone head.
Do we have a time, like,